Okay, so a lot of you are probably wondering, what on earth is Marriland's camera setup for playing Pokemon Conquest? Well, because I don't really want to forget this, I'm also kind of recording this for myself too, but I figured I'd show you anyway. So how it works is, this table here, this is where all the magic happens. I have my DS set up right over here. I gotta be careful with it, but turn it on. Alright, cool. So you can see it's on. And then up here, I have my camera. Now, I apologize if it's a little there. Maybe that'll help. Woo! So, what this thing is, this is the Canon Vixia HF100, I think it is. Or maybe it's the 10, I don't know. It's one of them. It's really cool. It's a great camera. But, and whoops, there's my finger. Yeah, so how this works is, you can see it's pointed down at the screen. If I were to turn on this camera, you can actually see in the viewfinder there that, well, I don't know how clearly you can see it. Again, I'm doing this with my phone's camera because, well, let's face it, this camera's in use. But you can hopefully see the little, oh, maybe it would help if I turn this off. Let's see if that works. See, there's the viewfinder. And I know it's blurry, but just bear with me. You can probably see at least enough of the Nintendo DS screen to know it's recording both screens. So, this is actually flipped. Let's see if I can turn it back on. It's actually flipped on the tripod here. So it's pointing straight down, and then I still have it, like, tilted and stuff. So, see if, I know it's kind of odd there, but I'm doing an angle here. So it's pointed down at it. Kind of see how that works? So, all the outputs and stuff, this is really important, and again, this is going a step beyond what pretty much anyone else would do, but it's pretty cool. So, here's the DS, right? That's the source of everything. Right here, this is a Y splitter that takes a headphone cable, essentially, and it takes one of them, on that gold one, it takes that on over to the camera, which is where the other end of it is. The other one, that just connects to these headphones here, which, they're noise-canceling ones, really nice on planes, but that's what I listen to the game's music from. And this is for, like, live recording setup. And this flashcard thing, it's actually, I just use that for leveling the camera. I would set it on that box if I'm just recording for the top screen, which I'll show you in a separate video. So, all the audio from the game goes directly into the AV port. Again, I apologize, it's blurry, it's a phone camera, you know. It goes into that AV port in there. Got it? It's actually it's a microphone import. Microphone in port, not import. So that's where you could attach a microphone or something to the camera. Now, this camera is really cool because hopefully you can see it. See that cord right there? That's actually a component out. And that's really important, and I'll tell you why in a second. But there's also an AV out. That's that black cable kind of right here, this guy. Yeah, that is an AV out cable. Now, where that ends up going is it routes over to this thing, and then it just takes a, I don't know what you call those things. They're like female-to-female adapters, which basically will let me extend the length of it. And then I take, see these cables there? Those are actually, they're kind of special. I'll show you where this all goes in a second. But there's also this microphone here. Now this microphone is not the USB one I usually use. It's actually a standard XLR microphone, which like studios and stuff would use. It wasn't too expensive, but it's been working out pretty good. So, you see there's the component out, the AV out, the AV goes over here. This part of the cable right there is very important because it's actually an adapter. So outside of here, oh look at all those plugs down there. Outside, in my awesome recording setup, this is where I have my mixer and my PVR capture box thing. So the mixer, what this does, see that black cable right there going into that thing? Well, that's the microphone port, and that dial lets me kind of adjust the microphone settings, or the sound of it. One of these things, I think it's this one right there. that is not your standard, it's not your standard plug. It's actually a, see, it's a long one. It's it's a 1/4 inch plug as opposed to the standard 3.5 millimeter ones, or 1/8 of an inch or whatever. So it gets set in here as an input, I'm sorry. So from there, I can adjust the levels of the game's audio, which is this one, and the microphone audio, which is this one. I can adjust those with these dials here. And you can even see a little bit of the green light going on there. That just shows that I'm doing stuff. Now, this cable right here, this is where it outputs the combined audio, and it outputs it over to this box. And that's where those component cables come into play. So this box is kind of like an advanced USB capture thing. If any of you are familiar with the Dazzle, it's kind of like that. I used to use this pretty cheap StarTech SVID to USB 2. What was it? It was like a USB capture thing. It was okay, but I needed something that could do component out. So this, or something that could accept component, because that's for the camera. This takes those audio cables and puts them right in here using the same adapter. So I have 2 of those 1¼ inch to RCA adapters. And then I have all 3 of the component cables plugged in there. Now, it takes a USB output, and that sends it to a computer that can record it. In this case, I'm using my fancy new MacBook Pro, which I got just a little bit ago, but it's been awesome for these video editing purposes. And I have a program on there called, what is it, HD Video Capture, something like that. Turn the flash off. Yeah, HDPVR capture, and it's pretty good. It works out really nice. But that is the setup. I know it's slightly crazy on the floor here inside of a closet, for goodness sakes. But the trick is to have the darkest room possible, and if that means recording in the closet, jokes aside, you're really mature. Yeah, record in the closet. Just record somewhere where it's really dark, alright? Not everyone has this kind of setup or this big of a closet, but if you do, or like how I did it in my old videos, I'd wait until nighttime, pull down all the shades in my room, and then just record. But the darkness is really helpful because that takes away a lot of the blurriness from the videos, and it takes away the graininess and reflections. And that really stinks. So, at that point, I'd then take the videos into Adobe Premiere Pro, and I'd use some stuff and flip it around and apply effects and stuff. And that's how I get the 2 screens there. Because I'm actually recording it, it's not being recorded like this, it's being recorded like this, which is great, but then I have to take both of the screens and then like superimpose them and stuff. So it's a bit of a hassle, but it's pretty cool. Now this is not how I'm going to do the Black 2 videos. I'm going to do those just like normal. I'll have them stationed on that thing, I'll have the screen flipped up, and hopefully I'll show you that setup in a moment. But I have to tear this down, so that's why it's kind of important, I guess, that I record this, so hopefully I'll remember how to do this in the future, because this is the solution. Now, while I'm playing, you see there's this beam. Let me see if I can turn that flash back on. There's like this beam right here. Okay, so while I'm playing, I have to slip my hand underneath this beam and play it literally like this. Imagine my other hand is pressing the buttons there. I can't hold the DS, I can't shake the DS, I can't do anything with it. But it'll record the quality pretty good, so that's why it's a little painful to play. But hopefully that gives you an idea of what I've done for the Pokemon Conquest videos, which, sadly, I'm not going to be continuing these during the Black 2 coverage. Well, Black 2 and White 2, because not only do I have to do an entire video series, which I'll be doing today, but I also am going to be doing a walkthrough on my site. And that's essentially writing a book, okay? And then I also need to, like, refine the Pokedex and add a whole ton of pages. I mean, this is intense. But the Conquest videos, I wasn't even originally going to do them, but I got curious with this. whole setup, and I wanted to see if I could do it, and I could. So I'm like, all right, I'll just play a little bit of it until Black 2 and White 2 come out, and then I'll have to focus on that. But anyway you look at it, you got like 13 episodes out of me. Hopefully that's better than nothing. Hopefully it gave you a good idea of what to expect from this cool game. It's pretty fun. I've seen a lot of people get into it after watching the videos, so hopefully that was good. But it is a different game, too, and I was essentially playing it, well, not blind, but, like, I was playing it based only off of a little bit of the Japanese version, so I don't even know everything that's going on. But yeah, hope that was entertaining for you. Hope that gives you a better idea of what kind of stuff I have to go through just to give a really cool video quality. And obviously it's an HD camcorder. That makes a big difference. I wouldn't recommend this camera because it's kind of expensive. I got it at a really low price, though, way back. But that kind of setup's really good. Anyway, hope you enjoyed, and hope this was informational or something to you. Peace out, and can't wait to get Black 2 and White 2 just an hour or so. Oh, man.